Very excited about next week's training. I think before we get there, if you have anybody that you still want to invite to today's training, Ant is recording this, and I know a lot of people apologized not being able to be here today, but Ant is recording, and we will be sharing this on the New Age Africa Movement Facebook group as well. And I'll be sending it out to the core leaders. So if you want to get this recording, you're also welcome to have access to it. We'll gladly share. Mr. Allen is worthy of everybody's attention, and he's just an amazing mentor. Okay, next week's training, you guys. Well, don't forget, team, we have prospecting Zoom this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. SA time. I'm very excited about that. And I want to encourage you all, we are on the last leg to really take a hold of the launch. And I really want us to run strong. And it's been an interesting year, but I want us to stay focused, and I want us to keep our energy, don't waste it on insignificant stuff. Keep your energy, keep your focus. Let's run hard for the last few weeks before we officially launch. Tam, I'm not going to take too much time. Keep your eyes on Facebook for info on Monday's training coming up Monday, the 5th of April. We have a very special guest that will be joining us. So please keep your eyes open for all of that. But Anri, I'm going to hand over to you and Gemma. I see Mr. Allen has joined us.
Thank you, Erika. Thank you, guys. We would just like to welcome everyone. My name is Anri, and this is my gorgeous husband, Jimmy Powell, and we're all the way from Bloemfontein in South Africa. Those of you who have not met us yet, we are super excited about tonight's training, but my husband will say a little bit more about that. But we would just like to welcome everyone. We would like to say to you that you are VIP guests with us tonight. Each one of you are sitting in a front row seat to this amazing training. And how awesome is that? How the technology just brought everyone together, that you would have been sitting in a room where you might have been at the back of the room, and you had to, look past someone's hairdo or someone that's taller than you in front of you. But you are sitting in the comfort of your own home, maybe having a braai and a glass of wine, and just really enjoying and have the privilege to be in the front row seat of this amazing training. We would just like to please remind everyone that you need to mute yourself. Even as the people come in, we will try to mute from our side as well, but please try and mute this. Get a pen and paper ready and just dot away all the amazing things that you're going to learn tonight.
Yes, everyone, welcome to this training today. We are in a very exciting space and time in Africa, and we want to just share with you our excitement. And we want to tell you that we've been in this business for a little over 7 months, Anri and myself, and we've had such amazing personal growth in these past few months. And not only the personal growth, we've met people that we will probably be lifelong friends with. And this company is so incredible. We got introduced to the company when it was only RX, and we got involved with some of the products that are really incredible. And having said that, it's joined forces with an incredible company called New Age Beverages. And now we're in a space where these two powerhouses joined. And these two powerhouses are coming to Africa. And we are on the verge of them launching into Africa, and it's so exciting. This is the best time for us, for Africans. We've got such an amazing opportunity and huge things coming our way. And in my current profession, it takes up a lot of my time and my energy. But once every year, I would go on a 3-week holiday, and that would usually be over December and New Year's. I would take a good long break with my family. And I often told Anri that the best time of that break, of that holiday, would be the anticipation, the few days just before it starts. That's the most exciting time for me, of the whole holiday that's lying ahead, is that anticipation. The planning that goes into that, the preparation, the looking forward to spending time with people, with your loved ones. So I often told her that the anticipation was the best time of the whole of the whole holiday. And that's exactly where we find ourselves at the moment. We find ourselves anticipating something huge that's coming to Africa. And we're really excited about that. And Erika mentioned it. We must just keep focus. We must keep on pushing now because we're in the final stages. A few weeks from now, things will be coming to Africa that you won't believe, that will blow your mind. And you are all part of it. Everyone on this tonight or today is part of this amazing opportunity that's coming to Africa. And we need to be prepared. And there's no better way to get prepared than to get training and to do these sessions. And no better person to do the training tonight than the special guest we have on here to do this training for us. So we're really excited to hear from Mr. Allen. So without any further ado, I just want to do his introduction justice by introducing the right person to do that. So from my side, I want to welcome Erika van der Merwe, who's going to do the introduction. Now, most of you already know Erika. I mean, it's become a household name for us, and everyone else on this call probably today in UHRX. And Erika is a South African-born lady that was born in Kroonstad. Can you believe it? Kroonstad in the Free State. So she's homegrown here in Africa. A few years ago, they also lived in Bloemfontein for a few years. A few years ago, they moved to Colorado Springs in Colorado, which is where she met Tammy Melby Melchizedek. They become great friends, to everyone's benefit on this today. And their friendship has grown from strength to strength. They've become business partners. And Erika has identified a little spot on the continent of Africa called South Africa, her home ground, to bring this company to. So we are so proud, Erika, to have you as our upline, as our mentor, as our leader. And we are very privileged to have you on here today. And without further ado, I want to introduce you, and I want everyone on here to just welcome Erika van der Merwe, the lady that started it all, that started a tsunami in Africa for this company. Welcome, Erika. Over to you.
You guys, I love you guys. You know I love you. So let me just start out by saying I love you, right? We can never say those words enough. And it's just an honor to do life together and do business together, make money together, laugh together, cry together, share moments of anguish and fear, and also moments of joy and victory, right? We do it together. That's the beauty of it. Guys, I have the amazing opportunity to introduce a gentleman to you that has rocked my world. I have decided one day when I grow up, I want to be Robert Allen. I don't know what I would look like or how that would play out, but that's what I decided. Mr. Allen, #1 New York best time seller, an amazing author, an amazing speaker, a family man. There's so much that I can say about this gentleman. I went onto your website, Mr. Allen, and I saw a big question. It said, where do you want to be in 5 years? And that was your focus of your previous training that you did with this team. Where do you want to be in 5 years? What do you believe? You challenged all of us to sit down and really strategize our own lives in the next season. And you were so kind to bless us with a PDF of your new book, 4 maps, clarity, anticipation, ritual, and task. Mr. Allen, 45 minutes is not enough in your company. I would love to meet you one day, and if allowed, take you and your lovely wife out for dinner. But we have you for 45 minutes. So will you please impart your wisdom into this new team, brand new team, doing amazing things on the continent of Africa, making decisions for their families and their own lives. Will you please grace us with your wisdom today? Thank you for being on this call, Mr. Allen.
Oh, thank you, Erika and Jimmy and Anri, is it? And I see Nicolene and Hydri. And there's Anthony. Well, I know Anthony. And let's see, we got people from all over the place here. That's Isolde and Bob, Sue, Marlies. They're very different. You don't have a lot of those kind of names in America. Marlies. I've never met a Marlies. Elna, Oswald, Cindy was spelled with an S. Mimsy, but well, these names that I just repeated are names that are all scheduled to be diamond, to be chairpersons, to be the best of the best of the best, chairperson of your own life. Because although they can give you that award in RX, soon to be New Age, these chair people, but essentially they give you the award, and then you put a pin on your label to say that you're a chairperson, chairman, chairwoman in RX. But frankly, you are a chairperson the day you were born, and you get to make the decisions about what your future life looks like, because as a chairperson of your own life, you control what goes on in your mind, what goes on around you as much as possible. You are the leader. Now, you might be working as an employee for somebody else right now, but regardless, you are the leader of your life. You are the chairperson of your life. You are the person who decides when you wake up in the morning, will this be a good day, or will I make it into a good day? Will this be a make it happen day? So my wife and I have been to South Africa. We went at different times. She went with a friend on a bunch of safaris and had an absolutely wonderful time. I went to do a speaking engagement down in South Africa, and myself and Sir Richard Branson and a bunch of other luminaries were speaking to about 5,000 people in South Africa. And I loved the experience. I loved the people. I love your country. And as you say, the Powells were saying, this is a revolutionary time. This is a time where big things are going to be happening in 2021. So get ready for that. Now, this book that I gave every one of you last time we were together, Erika, if anybody wants a copy of that, make sure that they email you or Tammy, and please spread the book around. It's a digital book that is a summary of my experience in my life. I'm 72. Today, forgive me, I'm a little just been doing some exercising, and our house is kind of under construction here. So I've been working with the builders, and I've left them to be able to talk to you, and then I'm going to go back to them here in a few minutes. This book that I gave everybody last time we talked is the summary of the 4 skills that I think you need in order to succeed at anything in your life, anything. Now, there's a book that you've all read. It's called the Think and Grow Rich. How many of you read Think and Grow Rich? Okay, if you haven't read that, Erika, send me an email and I'll send you a link and I'll let you download. Did I do this last time? Did I give this away to you last time? Last time, so this time I want you to have an audio version recorded in my voice of the entire Think and Grow Rich book, plus the digital version of Think and Grow Rich if you don't have a copy. And it's my gift to you. No, there's no cost or anything, because this is a book that changed my life. I remember the day I was back home. I went on an LDS mission to Tahiti when I was 19 years old. When I came back home, I wanted to know what the future was holding for me. And I was in my small town in Alberta, Canada, walked into a store and looked on the rack, and there was a book called Think and Grow Rich. Well, that resonated with me. You know, I thought, if I could just think and grow rich, that'd be nice. Well, I bought the book and I've read it many times. I've recorded it in my own voice because it was so important to me. It had 13 principles that anyone who wants to succeed needs to really resonate with. What do you think the first principle is? There's 13 of them. What do you think the very first principle is? He starts off the entire book about this one principle. Now, 13 of them, we're gonna cover them here today. But the most important principle is actually the first step of my book, 4 Maps. I've tried to take these 13 principles and boil it down into 4. so that if you do these 4, then you're going to get anything you've ever wanted. And so the first principle is clarity. That's in my book, The 4 Maps. The clarity means being clear on what you want. What is it that you want? And if you don't know what you want, then you're not this beacon that sends the signal out to the world to bring the world to you. So the first principle of thinking or rich is desire. And what do you desire? And I want you to get really clear about that, because of all the principles I've ever taught, if you're not really clear about what you want, then you don't get anywhere. You don't have enough energy to get you where you want to go. It's like you're an airplane on the runway, and you're the pilot, because you're the pilot of your life anyway. And you make a decision to take off. What are you going to do? Do it half throttle? Do a quarter throttle? Are you going to put a little bit of gas on as you go down the runway? No, if you want to take off, you want your plane to rise into the air, you have to be at full throttle. You have to be fully committed. Because if you don't, if you're at half throttle, your plane is not going to have enough speed to lift off the runway. And there's going to be a crash at the end of that runway, and everybody's going to die. Basically, if you're not totally, completely committed to what you want, then more than likely you haven't gotten it. Because if you don't know what you want, So there's a statement that that you've heard a million times. I'll send this to Erika also. It's called commitment. And I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in 2006. So the guy who climbed Everest wrote a book in 1951 where this quote comes, and it says, "Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets. Whatever you can dream you can, or whatever you think you can or dream you can, do it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. That quote I memorized, and when I teach, my individual students around the world, I make them memorize that quote, because it is such a profound quote that when you are all in, that means when your throttle is full in, when you are at full throttle, you send these waves off around you, these signals off around you. And I'm not talking about the law of attraction. You may have spent some time reading books about that. I'm talking about when you're fully committed, providence moves too. Now, what does providence mean? Well, you never really clearly identified what the word providence means, but in my belief system, providence is your higher power. However you refer to your higher power, God, the universe, however you refer to it. I have a strong belief in a higher power. I believe that we're all here for a purpose in our life. And once we take the enormous gifts that we've been given, and when we focus them and commit to something we decide we want to accomplish, then providence moves too. That means that and according to the quote I just gave you, that all sorts of things occur when you're definitely committed that would not otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events, issues from that decision of commitment. A whole stream of events, issues from your decision to commit all in all sorts of meetings and material assistance and incidents occur. They're just things that start happening around you when you are all in. And so my challenge to you during this time, you want to get your RX business up flying. You want it to be generating residual streams of income for you. You want it to be a source of help and encouragement to the people around you. You want to give them health. You want to give them freedom. You know, you carry in your hands the most amazing opportunity. And many people try this opportunity. You know, it's just like all entrepreneurship. You know, 95% of all businesses that start today will fail within the first 5 years. The same thing goes with network marketing businesses. And people always say to me, well, Robert, there's just, I really don't know a whole lot of people who really, really succeeded in this business. I said, well, I do. And they said, but I've seen a lot of people who fail. And I said, well, yeah, there's failure in any business. It's massive. And most people really don't get that. They think because they get into a network marketing opportunity and they don't go all in, they don't commit. And they dabble, they stick their toe in the water. Why else do you think they fail? Because there's no commitment. There's no all in attitude by a person, because they're just trying to find out whether they like it, whether the products work. That's not all in. The products work. Take my word for it. Quit worrying about whether they work for you. Just take them. You know, the business works. People say, it doesn't work for me. You know why it doesn't work? Because you're not all in. You're not willing to talk. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the general person who generally fails in any kind of business, and network marketing is the same. It's the same because people don't have a lot of skin in the game. There's not a whole lot of risk. What kind of risk do you have? $1,000 bucks, $2,000? There's not much risk. Most network marketers never spent a dime on advertising because they want to talk to their relationship, the people around them. It's a word of mouth business, but then they won't use their word of mouth. They won't talk to people. And so this concept of commitment is really, really, really important. When I got started in my business of the books, the best-selling books that I've written, I wanted to be a millionaire. I honestly don't know why. I don't know where that desire came from, to tell you the truth. I just always wanted to be a millionaire. And so when I graduated from college, I was going to get a job, and I was going to work part-time. I worked full-time and then do some investing on the side. Real estate was where I thought I would do some investing to generate my first million. And nobody would hire me. It was 1974, horrible recession going on here in America. Nobody was hiring. And I graduated with my master's in business, and nobody was hiring. And it was devastating. You know, I sent out 30 letters to the 30 major corporations in the world: General Foods, General Motors, General Electric, General Mills, and generally any big company I could think of. And I sent 30 letters, and I got 30 rejections. And I looked at those letters, I laid them out on my bed, and I was devastated. And I thought, what am I going to do? I just spent 6 years in college. I'm going to work for somebody like my dad did. I watched my dad work as an employee and accountant for a company for his entire life, retired, got his watch. But I thought I would do the same thing. And yet I knew I wanted to be a millionaire. And since nobody was hiring, what was I supposed to do? I laid these letters out on my bed, and I looked at all the people who'd signed those letters. They had all physical signatures from these 30 major corporations. And something happened in about a week of me really crying, really depressed and down. And I thought, wait a minute, Who are these people who signed these letters to me? Who are these people? One day, I will make more money than all 30 of these people combined. And I was pissed. Excuse the language. I was pissed. And I made a decision that no matter what it took, I needed to prove those 30 people wrong. This is a, excuse me, I got a little tickle in my throat. This is an attribute of entrepreneurs. When somebody tells you you can't do it, eventually, you might be depressed at first, but eventually you get mad and you go, wait a minute, who are these people? Who are these people who to judge me of somebody, I'm smart, I'm a nice guy, I'm moral, ethical, I mean, who are these people? And so this commitment that I've been talking about here is when you make that decision. It doesn't have to be because you're trying to prove somebody else wrong. In my case, it was, but within 5 years, I had made more money than all 30 of those people combined. Because I started with my commitment. My commitment was, I want to be a millionaire. So how do I do that? I'm going to I bought some real estate. And I didn't have a lot of money, so I started to learn the techniques and create the techniques for nothing down. This is my book here that's been sold over 1 million copies. Nothing down, how to buy real estate with little or no money down. And I used those techniques myself. And then I wrote the all-time best-selling real estate book about it. And over the last 40 years, I've taught millions and millions of people about multiple streams of income, which is another one of my books. But it all started with that one decision. I can still see myself standing in front of that bed with those 30 letters laid out on my bed and just saying, one day I'll reach the dream. I had a desire to be a millionaire, but I also had a desire to prove myself to not only those 30 people, but to prove myself to myself that I had what it takes. And at the beginning of a brand new business, it's difficult to have that kind of commitment because a lot of people are still learning themselves how to have personal growth. You know, what I love about this business is it's a personal growth business. And in order for you to succeed in this business, you have to work on yourself because it's a rejection business. Just like any entrepreneurial enterprise is a rejection enterprise. The opportunities, people who are in their comfort zones, inside their comfort zones, they don't get to stretch like we do. We have to stretch outside our comfort zones. And it's really, really not fun out there, frankly. Inside your comfort zone, it's safe and it's quiet and nobody's gonna, attack you. And so we call it a comfort zone. And then the zone that's outside the comfort zone, we call that the danger zone, where all the danger happens, where all the risk takes place. Well, this risk, you're going to have to take some risk. And you're going to have to stretch yourself outside your comfort zone, which is why network marketing creates so many successful people, not just in the business itself, but in their lives, because they've forced themselves outside into the risk zone, into the danger zone, and they have changed their life as a result of it. And yeah, they might be making some money as a result of it, but they changed their life. And the comfort zone that people get stuck in life is they have a lot of fear of failure, fear of rejection, 5 major fears. Spells the word F-E-A-R-S, fear of rejection, or fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, and fear of success. And one of those fears usually keeps a person stuck inside their comfort zone. And those fears are going to cost they're very expensive. Just the thought that you think, when you think of fear thought, you think, well, that's not expensive. It's just a thought. It's just flashing through my head. If that fear thought stops you from the ultimate opportunity and the lifestyle you want for your life, that fear, if it costs you that lifestyle, then that fear was extremely expensive. extremely expensive. And so in order for you to step out into well, it's actually the comfort zone is really not a comfort zone. It's a danger zone. That's where the danger is. It's a danger for you not to live the life you were born to live when you showed up on this planet as the chairman of your life, as the chairwoman of your life, and so you get to create this life of yourself. And we learn fear as we grow up, and eventually the fear just surrounds us and collapses in on us. And we think we're safe inside there, and we're not safe. It's the most dangerous place you can be. And the opportunity zone is where you're growing. It's the growth zone. It's where you grow outside your comfort zone. Well, the only way you can get out there is you have to overcome your fear at a time when you're just starting out in a brand new business and you're not quite sure if the products do work, and you're not quite sure if this network marketing industry really is legitimate. You're not right sure if this company called RX is really the company that you want to put your all your money on. Essentially, you're going all in this, and there's got to come a time when you say to yourself, I'm all in, I'm going to make this happen. You can see all kinds of people who've reached all kinds of levels in RX, from the lowest to the highest, and there are tens of thousands of them, and they've proven that it works and it's successful. So there needs to come a time in your life when you go, I'm in, I'm all in, I don't care what people think. I remember when my wife first got involved in network marketing. I think I told you this story last time, but my wife had a friend of hers was involved in network marketing, and she said, my wife said to me, we were going through kind of a downturn, and I'd laid off a lot of employees during a kind of another recession during the early 90s. And this gal was going through a severe divorce, and was my wife's best friend. And so my wife said, Bob, you gotta hire my friend. She's gonna be your assistant. And because I think I told you the story in complete more last time, I'll just basically make a quick story of it. Colette becomes my secretary. Her brother's involved in another network marketing company, gets her involved. She comes to me and asks my advice, and I tell her, don't do it. You're crazy. Network marketing does not work. Don't do it. I'm a #1 New York Times bestselling author with millions of readers. Don't do it. How was that for bad advice? You know why I said that? Because I was afraid of what people would think of me. So I don't want to be involved in network marketing because, you see, I'm famous and I'm popular and I've got a lot of these fans around. I don't want them to be disappointed in me, to feel as if I'd done something. And here I'm multi-millionaire, but extremely worried about how other people think of me. And so I said to my secretary, no, sorry, I'm not going to do it. So she went and talked to my wife, and my wife came to me and said, we're going to do it. And I said, I'm not going to do it. And she said, here's the paperwork, and I wouldn't sign it. And I said to sweetheart, it's your business. You can have all the money. And she said, I'll never forget that. This is my business and this is my money. And so over the next 5 years, she went from 1,000 a month to 1,000 a week to 1,000 a day. And how much of that money did I earn? Zero. Why? Because I refused to just sign my name to the paperwork because I was afraid of what people would think. Well, when we finally figured it out, where $1,000 a day is flowing into our lives and it's working like crazy, then I said, can I join with you? Well, let's work on this together. You could still have the money, but, and today, do I care what people think when I tell them I'm involved in network marketing? Do I care? I don't care what they think, because I just have to look at their life. In their life, I've rarely met a successful person who has told me not to follow my heart. Usually it's failures that are telling you what not to do. Those are the people that I was afraid of. I was afraid of these people out there who would not like me. Well, please don't like me, because I'm living the lifestyle of my dreams now. Because and so talk about commitment. When I committed to the name of the company was Usana at the time. When I committed to USANA, we were all in big time. And then when RX came along and the leaders of USANA left USANA and went to RX, they came to us and they said, are you in or are you out? And we were all in. And Daryl's, my wife's check went to 0 in USANA, and we had to start again at 0. But of course, it was half my check now. But the point is, we had to go all in again. We had to go all in again. Now this was in 2011, so this is coming up on 10 years. And it's just been in the 9th year that it's gone public, you know, with New Age, and it's going to explode even more. It's just going to go all around the world. I mean, there could be people who are all over Europe, all over South America, all over, you know, all over the world. Australia, this company is going to be in the top 10. Well, we already have risen from the bottom to like 50. I think we're 50 or somewhere in that range right now, top something. I've heard, Fred, when we were in China, we were going through into the airport, and on the glass door going into the airport in like Shanghai, there was somebody had stuck a sticker of Amway on the door of the airport, and he stopped us all. He said, "See that? See that?" He says, "One day, we're going to take them out. You know, we're going to be bigger." And when you hear Fred talk like that, you go, "How? You know, that's crazy talk." You know, this been Amway's been around for what, 75 years, something like that, with a bad compensation plan, and then you just watch ARCs rising. We'll be in the top 20, then we'll be in the top 10. We're just sent for big stuff, and it won't happen unless you are committed to do something that maybe you've never done before, where you're not afraid of what people think. It's your dream. If these 30 people write a letter to you and tell you that you're not worthy to be hired by their company, there's a part of you that goes, I'm going to use that as fuel for me. When somebody tells me I can't do it, instead of it being a depressing, like putting the brakes on, when somebody tells me I can't do it, it's gas to me. It's acceleration to me. It's because, so please tell me I can't do it. Tell me that it's not possible for me, because I want to prove to you. And this is sometimes when you're talking to new people that you're trying to invite to the business, some people will tell you you're crazy. You know, you're crazy to launch a business like this. You're crazy to these nutritional products don't work. And when they do, you need to just have a final sentence with them. You know, these might be friends, you know, and just say, one day I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to show you where I wanted to take you. And it'll be a little later, it might be 5 years from now, but one day I'm going to have another conversation with you, and I'm going to show you by what I did myself, not somebody I'm pointing to, my upline. No, it'll be me. And I'm going to show you how to get where very few people get. And at that time, the proof will be clear, and you'll say, well, I'm not interested, not interested in joining. I'll say, that's okay, but one day we'll have another conversation. You don't have to be nasty about it. It can be really nice. It can be real friendly. Just say, thank you for that rejection. I appreciate that. Thank you. They say, why are you thanking me? See, because when I'm challenged and somebody tells me I can't do it, it motivates me. It drives me. It makes me even more committed, not less committed. And the people who fail in our industry, and there are many who fail, they fail because they weren't willing to do whatever it took, whatever it takes. It's hard to do that. It means you have to say no to lots of things, and you have to say yes to just a few things. So last time we talked about your 5-year vision, 5-year dream. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? If you spend any time with your team, this is what you should be spending with them. Where do you want to be? Let's ask these 7 questions. What do you want? No, really, what do you want? When do you want it? I want you to have them fill out the date. Where do you want it? What's life like when you've achieved this dream? If it's chairman, chairperson, fine. What's life like then when you're clear about that? How much do you want? Well, how much money are you earning on a weekly basis? What kind of rewards did you achieve? What kind of bonuses did you do? Well, you know, in that year, the year you decided you wanted to arrive, I'm saying you should at least give yourself no more than 5 years. But 5 years from now, when you wake up in the morning, where are you? I'm going to be really blunt here. Some of you are going to wake up in the same apartment 5 years from now. And I know that's not nice to say because you all have big dreams, but I want you to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me you're not going to end up in the same apartment 5 years from now. Prove it. Prove it to me. Send me a picture. My email address is author@robertallen.com. Send me a picture. Prove me wrong. But some of you, unfortunately, you're here just for the short time and you kind of come in and you kind of slip away. But a few of you on this team are going to rock this company. A few of you. Well, there's 40 of you on the call, 41 of you on the call. I'd say 33 on the call right now. Good number, 33. Where are you going to be? How much are you going to have? What do you want? Who do you want it with? And more importantly, who do you want it? Who's going to help you get it? Why do you want that? Now, I couldn't answer you the question for myself, why I wanted to be a millionaire. I think entrepreneurs that are, a true entrepreneur, they just have this, it's a benchmark that a lot of people pick. I bought a property, my first property within the first 60 days of leaving the school. I went all in. I had $1,500 that my dad had given me for graduation. And I put it all down on one little duplex, a 2-unit apartment building. I had no job, nobody would hire me. And I had $1,500 to my name, and I bought it. At that time, we could buy it on what they call a contract, where without checking my credit or anything, she sold me this property, and I gave 100% of my money, all in. Where was I going to make the first monthly payment? I would hopefully collect the rent to be able to make that first monthly payment, but I went all in. And I've done that many, many times in my career, when you just have to go all in. And sometimes you don't know what the result's going to be. If you're going to see a clear picture of where you're going to go, if you have to see it before you do it, then you'll never get there. The only thing you have to see is in your mind's eye, in the eye of faith. You need to see the life you want to create as chairperson of your life. What life do you want to create? The vehicle to get you to that life is RX. But you have to make the decision. And most people, they don't decide. And therefore, a whole stream of events doesn't issue from their decision. Or I guess just the opposite is a whole stream of events issues from their non-decision. Because if you don't commit, then what do you get? You just get an ordinary, normal life. And I'm not up for that. I don't know if you are, but what I'm proud about your group here, because you've reached out and asked me to chat with you. You got some great leaders in this group. You have a great communication. Yeah, give them a hand, everybody, for your leaders. Yeah. And all of you are growing into leaders. All of you are growing into chair people, at least in our company. You're here, you're committed to be here. Now I need you to commit and go all in. And it's hard for people to go all in. They want to keep a toe out. So maybe if mom finds out that she won't be mad at you or whatever, whomever is the person you're afraid of. And there needs to come a time in your life when you go, it's my dream. This is what I want. This is where I want it. This is how much I want. This is why I want this. This is who I want this with and who I want this for. And the final last question is, okay, how am I going to get it? If you take all the principles of success and you boil them down into 3 fundamental skills you need, which is what we talked about last time, system skills and people skills and mindset skills. System skills is how you do it. It's a small part of success. How do you drive the car? It's a small part of it. What vehicle do you choose? It's a small part of it. How you memorize, how do you understand the compensation plan? It's a small part of it. The big 90% of it is your decision that this is the life you want and nothing is going to stop you from getting it. Nothing. So that's my message for us today.
Wow.
Go online and pick up that quote, or I'll send it to Erika again. It's the quote on commitment. I want you to memorize it. Memorize it.
So Robert, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you do when you work in a team? You are committed, you are on fire. How do you keep your team committed? Is that something that is in your power as a leader, or is it something that needs to come from their own internal clarity?
As a leader, your job is to create clarity for your team and to spend time with them till they get really clear on what they really, really want. The book, The 4 Maps, was actually written for RX. It was written for network marketing. As I said to myself, what's one thing that you should teach your very brand new person? Should there's lots of things you can teach them. You can teach them the compensation plan, the products. You can show them the websites. You can show them get all hooked up for the communication with the whole team. A lot of things you can teach them, but none of that makes any sense or has any power until it aligns with the person that you are bringing onto the team. And otherwise they'll just come in and they'll fall right back out. So I would spend 90% of your time working on the clarity part. And then the second map, I don't know if we talked about last time, but the second map is the anticipation map. So Erika, you don't try to sugarcoat the problems in our industry.
Sure.
That doesn't do any good, because eventually somebody's going to clue them in. And so if they don't hear it from you, you can inoculate them from the disease that everybody else has. And the disease they have is small thinking disease. And everybody's got it. And so the way to inoculate them is to tell them the truth and just say, this is going to be tough. This is going to take time. Now, you don't have to build your business. You just take these products every day. So at least you'll live a long and healthy life. But if you want to add wealth to that, there's going to be some challenges, and it's going to be It's gonna be tough. You're gonna have people join the company and you're so excited for them. And then they flame out and you go, what happened? You were so excited. This can happen over and over and over again because they got so many opportunities, thousands of opportunities, and their cell phone is an opportunity, magnet here. So the anticipation map is basically a simple, easy way to teach your downline the challenges that they could face. And I said to myself, let's see, what would be some of the things that could stop somebody from achieving? See, they have a frowny face life, and they want to have a full life of abundance. How do I get it from here to there? And so I basically say, life is a whirlwind of all kinds of opportunities and challenges and distractions. And none of these distractions are ever going to take you to success. There's only one thing that'll ever get you where you want, is that to tell me what you want and say no to everything else. And most people can't do it. And so the first challenge is the whirlwind. And those of you who read the book have gone through this. The whirlwind it's all these distractions. Do you have it in yourself, the courage to do something about it every single day? And most people don't. And therefore, that's why they have ordinary lives. And so, Erika, you can't motivate them. Almost nothing you can do except to get them really clear on what they want and what could stop them. The anticipation map is Rob, I'm on a call. I'll call you back in an hour. Sorry. So this journey from where the frowny face life to the smiley face life is going to have all kinds of challenges to it. The big one here is what I call is called the learning curve. The learning curve means they're going to have to learn a new business. They're going to have to learn new things maybe they've never done before. And they're going to get worse before they get better. Is it better that you told them that? You want to tell them, this is where you are now, and this your life is kind of okay, but we want to get you here. In order to get here, you're going to have to go through this valley of discouragement and learning. You're going to have to learn new skills. And at first, you're not going to be good. Actually, you're going to look foolish. You're going to look like a fool. Can you handle that? And if they can't handle it, and they say, this is not your business, I'd rather you took it away from them. Just say, this is not your business. If you want to live this kind of life, then there are things you have to go through in order to get there. So the marshmallows this is a marshmallow, and it's a sweet. The sweets are these tiny little distractions that they tempt you to go off the path. And every day you have to say no 100 times. How many times do you get a text? You say no to that.
Yeah.
How many times you're online and you get an email advertising? You have to say no to that. So it takes courage. And I want you to Erika, with your new person, just say, do you want to be a hero? Do you want to be a hero or a heroine? Are you up for that? Because that's what it's going to take. And if you're up for that, then you're going to have to overcome these distractions, this whirlwind. You're going to have to learn how to do this business. And at first, you're going to look kind of silly as you try to practice these words and to say them to other people. I'm sorry, that's what practice is all about. You have to practice on somebody, practice on your team, but eventually you're going to have to practice on a real person, and you could make a mistake and you could say the wrong thing. What's that going to do? So now you're inoculating them, you see. You're saying, now I'll help you with this process. We'll go through it together. I'll be on the phone when you do those calls. I'll be right there. When we meet with people face to face, I'm right there with you. I'm going to coach you through this process of getting through the learning curve and avoiding all the little tiny sweet distractions. And this one is the cliffs of fear. Fear is a biggie, and one of these days you just have to realize that you'll always have fear. It's just bigger and bigger fears is all. The fear's with you forever. Just tries to slow you down. And then finally, there's the sun that has a storm. And you have these sudden storms. Well, what has COVID been for us?
Oh my.
We're in the middle of building a business and COVID happens. Some people gave up as soon as they found out COVID. Oh, guess I can't have meetings anymore. You can't meet with people face to face, can't take them to Starbucks. No, I guess I'm just gonna have to quit. And some people went, oh good, oh goody, I can do it on Zoom. I don't even need to go to Starbucks anymore and spend that money, pay for. I can do it from my house. This is a home-based business. Ta-da!
True.
So they were challenged. And so the long answer to your question, Erika, there's nothing you can do. But what you can teach them is try to get tapped into what they really want. Because if they quit, what they're saying to you is, I guess I really didn't want that. I guess I really didn't want that. I guess I really didn't want to be financially free. I guess I really didn't want to have vibrant health. I guess I didn't want to have lots and lots of friends. I guess I didn't want to be able to fly anywhere or do anything because I don't have to worry about money. I guess I'll just go back to my old life now, and I'll just be satisfied with less. And
No.
I won't be satisfied with less myself.
No.
You're
I'll
not
die unhappy. Yeah.
You're going to be satisfied with more. That's right. Okay. All right. So long answer to your question, Erika, but I've seen a lot of people come in, a lot of people go. And frankly, when they leave, it either makes you stronger or it makes you weaker. It makes you weaker. And your commitment wasn't strong enough. And I'm just sorry, that's just the way it goes. All right.
Oh.
Any other final questions, thoughts, comments?
Any questions for the amazing Robert Allen? Thank you for sharing all of that, Robert. There's so much there to digest. I'm going to listen to this recording over and over and over again. I cannot thank you enough for being willing to be on the Zoom today. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. We are not a team that takes that for granted at all. We appreciate you so much. Guys, will you unmute yourself and just say thank you to Robert from your heart? Let's give him a great applause and say thank you. Robert, thank you.